Well, evening, everybody. I'm so glad you decided to show up tonight. Whether you are just taking a look at this opportunity or you are, building with us, you're on product, tonight is going to be such a special call. We have the honor of hearing and being trained by the amazing Chelsea Miller. I want to give you a quick background on her. Chelsea grew up in an amazing household of absolute serial entrepreneurs. Her dad is so successful. Her mother was very successful running a business in skincare and ended up pursuing a career in referral marketing and network marketing. They went on to be million-dollar earners. And so Chelsea grew up in a household where she saw her parents build traditional businesses and the money and effort and time that took, and then going on to build a residual million-dollar business with Isagenix. Chelsea went to one of the top colleges in the world for entrepreneurship and business. She graduated top 10% of her class. And I think what's so neat about Chelsea is that with all of her education and her whole background, she left school, right? She gave herself the opportunity to really earn that degree and earn that education and learn, fiercely learn, and take everything she knew and look at what were her options. And she decided to pursue an opportunity with the company of Isagenix, building a residual income. So she has continued to be one of our top income earners in our START demographic, which is our 18 to 35 demographic within Isagenix, within this multi-billion-dollar company. And Chelsea has been building, here in the States, and then really pursued a dream of hers after working very, very hard to build that residual income, which she's going to explain tonight, building a leveraged business. She up and moved to Bali for 14 months, which was a big, big vision of hers. And what was so neat about that was that she gave herself the opportunity to do that and link arms with other entrepreneurs. Guys, if you could go ahead and mute your lines as you join. And she built her business in Bali. So she's traveled all around the world. She, I think last year, Chelsea did Yacht Week. But watching this young woman who has such a fire for educating people on the financial opportunities we have and really empowering young people to build an income at such a young age and provide options, right? It's not really about the dollar amount, it's about having options. So Chelsea's really going to dive in tonight about what does it mean to build residual income. I know before Isagenix, I didn't understand residual income. I was a brick and mortar business owner as well. And no one delivers it like this amazing, amazing woman. So Chelsea, thank you so much I know you're going to bring your heart and soul into this call. Go ahead and kick us off.
Thank you. I am always so honored when I get introduced because I'm always like, oh my goodness, my life sounds so amazing when you're getting introduced by somebody else. And it's amazing. And, the last 4 years of building this industry, of building this business and this company has been a journey. But I'm not here tonight to tell you guys about my journey. I'm here tonight to educate you guys on a really viable solution. So for the last, 7 days, we have done a vision call. And some of you were probably on it, or you were asked to be on it, where we really cast the vision for what this money could do for you. And I love inspiring people. But tonight, I don't want to inspire you. I'll be really honest. I want to empower you. I want to give you the knowledge that you need to make an educated decision for yourself so that you can make change in your life if that's what you're looking for. If you are looking for change in your life, and right now you might be thinking to yourself, I'm not looking for change in my life. And by the end of the call, you might change your mind because you didn't know there was other options out there. And I'm so, I feel like it is my soul's mission in this world to educate people on the different ways of earning income because it's just so I can't even explain it. It's so important to me. So I'm going to take a second to stop. And I know that there are a lot of guests on this call that have never been on a call before, who are here taking a look at it first time. Maybe you were on a vision call and you're like, that sounded great, but what do you do and how does it work? And this feels like a fairy tale. Like I need to know the logistics. That's what this call is for. We're going to talk to you about it. But I'm going to tell you that you're going to feel 2 things when you end this call. The 2 things that you're going to be feeling is incredibly excited about what the future can hold and absolutely nervous and terrified that you're being bamboozled and this is too good to be true. And so I'm going to ask you to text, call or walk into the other room and get your husband, your spouse, your roommate, or your best friend and send them the link and ask them to jump on and listen to this with you. So when we get off the call, you can be like, okay, what did you think about this? Because I'm telling you, by the end of this call, you're going to be so excited about what you've heard. You are. I just know it is, because when you learn about this type of income stream, you can't not be excited about it. And you're not going to be able to reiterate what's been shared with you tonight. And so people are going to look at you like, what are you talking about? And you're going to be looking for validation from somebody else in your life. So if your spouse is downstairs watching TV, ask them to participate right now. If your best friend is in the room next door, or if she's just watching Friends on Netflix right now, send her a text with the link and say, can you just listen to this for me? I'd like you to do that. So what I really want to talk about, well, hold on one second. This is the wrong slideshow. This is the right one. Nope. Hold on. Give me 1 second because I just updated. Here it is. There you go. So what I really want to ask you guys right now is, are you chasing the right rabbit? And that's probably a really weird question. You're probably like, what does that mean? What I mean is that oftentimes in life, we are given one path. We are told about chasing financial success. And we aren't told about, or we are made to feel that it is impossible to achieve financial freedom. And so I know I went to a top business school in the world where, we worked our butts off. We got a lot of debt so that we could have an amazing education, so that we could go out and get incredible jobs, so we could work really hard, so we could climb that ladder, so that we could have a high-paying income, so that we could pay for the life's luxuries that we wanted to have. And a lot of you were on that path, whether maybe you didn't even go to college, but maybe you started out in a field like hairdressing, or you started out with, carpentry, and you're working your way up, and you're working towards a lifestyle that you can have the dreams you have for yourself, the home, the car, the vacations with your family, all of that. And what most people find is years down the road, when it's too late, that they were chasing the wrong rabbit. Because when they get there and they realized that what they really wanted was time with their money and not money without time, it's too late. So I want to explain to you guys the difference between financial success and financial freedom. See, financial success is creating an abundance of money in your life, that exceed your expenses. So having a paycheck that comes in every month that's bigger than your monthly expenses, that would be the definition of financial success. So some of you have achieved this so far already in your dreams.
Chelsea,
make sure you're muted. We can hear you. Some of you have already achieved this, and some of you are striving towards it. Some of you right now, you are in a dead-end job. You're working your butt off. You're going to work day in and day out, but the dream is to one day to cover your bills, to have a little extra money, and to chase financial success in your life. Right? Guys, make sure you're muted. What is financial freedom? Financial freedom is having an abundance of money bigger than your expenses at the end of the month that is not tied to your time. See, financial success is just a fancy cage. And I speak to so many women and so many men who finally achieve the goal that they were chasing all of this time. And when they get there, they realize that they're now trapped in their golden handcuffs. Because now the car that they have and the home that they have and the vacations that they afford and the school that their children go to and the student loan debt that they accrued getting there, that demands a certain income. Now their expenses has risen with their earnings, and now they can't afford to lose that job. And so they still don't have the time with their family. They still don't have the time with their friends. If a loved one was in need of them, they couldn't just take time off of work. Financial freedom is when you have the level of money that you need. So you can have the house and the cars or whatever you so desire, the vacations, the travel. But at the same time, it is not dictated on your time. See, it's created in a way, guys, make sure you're muted. It's created in a way that it comes in whether you're working or not. Meaning that you're not caged in to this income because you can't leave. See, I've seen so many successful people in this world who've worked so hard to get to where they're going, truly realize that when they got there, they didn't have any of the things that they truly needed in life, which was the time. See, in a world where we are taught to become invaluable in order to have job security, I urge you to become the most replaceable piece of your income so you never have a job again. Guys, I want you to understand this. We are taught in this world how to become successful employees. We are not taught in this world how to become independently wealthy. That comes down to self-education, which is what we're here tonight to do for you. Self-education. You are taught to become the most invaluable person at your job so that you can have job security. But are you chasing the wrong rabbit? Because do you truly want job security for the rest of your life? Like, ask yourself, at 60 years old, at 65 years old, is what you're chasing job security? Or maybe if you could start to reprogram your brain and be open to another mindset, that maybe it's about becoming so replaceable. What if you were unneeded for your income to come in? What if it was possible that income could come into your bank account every single week and you weren't needed to create it? Now, we're not talking about a magical La La Land income stream. We're not talking about mommy and daddy's paycheck. We're not talking about, a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme or any of those things. We're talking about putting the effort and the work in to create something that once created, you could remove yourself from it and you would never have to worry about money coming in. So I want to give you guys a preface for what this call is going to be. It's going to be a breakdown of 3 things. First is going to be why we do this, understanding money. I want you guys to know why we are on this call tonight. We're going to understand money for a second. Second, we're going to explain to you what we do. What is network marketing in this crazy industry that we're in? And third, we're going to explain to you what it is, and that's the company that we're in. So I want to ask you guys some questions. How much, and obviously you don't have to answer this, so you don't need to put this in the chat, but I want you guys to be reflective for a second. Because this is about you guys, it's not about me right now. I'm here to deliver this information and empower you to make better choices. How much money do you earn right now per month? How do you earn your money per month? Like, what is required of you to earn that money? Are you hourly? Are you salaried? Are you commissioned? Do you have to sell a house? Do you have to make a certain amount of deals? What would you have to be doing in order for it to stop coming in? Too much vacation time, slacking off, not showing up to work. The loved one was to get hurt, injured, and you couldn't be there. How often do you get paid? Do you get paid weekly, monthly, quarterly? That would really suck. I don't think that's actually a thing, but maybe. Are you making enough to have the lifestyle that you want? So at this point, have you achieved financial success, or are you still chasing it? Do you make income in a way that you have enough time to do the things that you want in your lifestyle? See, I remember graduating from this school, and I had friends who were making $85K right out of Babson. That was the name of my college. Yet they were working 80 and 100-hour weeks. So the money was doing them no good because they were wasting their 20s behind a desk, unable to do any of the things that they dreamed of doing. What can't you do because of your job right now? What dream do you have that your job is stopping you from? Maybe it's being with a partner who lives long distance. Maybe it is helping your family out financially. Maybe it's moving out of your home and getting your own apartment. Maybe it's getting an apartment that is better than the apartment you're in. Maybe it's traveling because you don't have enough time off. Maybe it's working out because you simply can't get to the gym in time because you're at work all the time. What is your job in the way that you earn income holding you back from? I really want you to start thinking about these things. So let's look at what the world looks like today. 95% of people are earning 5% of the wealth. And 5% of the population is earning 95% of the wealth. So the people that are chasing financial success, that's 95% of our population, but only 5% of the wealth is over there in financial success. 95% of the wealth is being held over in the financial freedom section category, but only 5% of the wealth is there. Why? It's a lack of education. It's a lack of knowing how to create it. See, financial success is based on linear income, and we're going to go over the different types of income streams right now, where financial freedom is based on leveraged and residual income. So let's define those things. Linear income is exchanging time for money. So these are either employed or self-employed people. So if you are an hourly wage, if you are salaried, if you are commissioned, or if you're self-employed, maybe you're an independent contractor or a consultant, right? So you've become somebody who people hire for a job to get done. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're a makeup artist. Maybe you're a specialty provider. I know a lot of doctors who got really specialized in what they do. So then they opened up their own practice. But at the end of the day, if you're a specialty provider, then your entire income is based on you. Because if I'm a special doctor and my entire income is based on the fact that I can get paid a lot of money to do what I do because I specialize in it, but at the end of the day, I have to be in the office doing what I do to do it, it's still linear. It's financial success, but it's linear. Maybe I'm a small business owner. I know Mackenzie, who shared at the beginning of this call and opened it up for us, she owned a small business. She owned a spray tanning salon. And although it gave her more quote unquote freedom because she owned her own job, if she wasn't in there with her two hands spray tanning people, then her income wasn't coming in. These are the workers of the world. 95% of our population are the workers of the world. This is what we're taught to do. We're taught to get a job or create a job for ourselves and to work really hard in order to have that income come in. What's leveraged income? Leveraged income is utilizing the resources you have to give you more time and money. So this is basically investors and big business owners. So this is people who have a lot of money and a lot of experience and can invest that money and experience into creating more money for themselves. These are the blessed. These are the people who either are gifted with opportunities that most people don't have a lot of extra money laying around, have an excess amount of knowledge that they were able to tap into. These are people who are real estate investors. They are stock investors. I mean, there's so many different types of investors out there. Or you're big business owners. So what's the difference between small business and big business? Amazon's a big business. Staples is a big business. Franchises are big business. Not that you own a franchise, but you're the franchisor and you have all the franchises, right? So big business owners. Now, the average person isn't gifted with this blessing of experience, knowledge, money to be able to create this. But leveraged income is kind of what the American dream was built off of, right? The idea that you could start with a little bit and create more with it. But the barrier to entry is massive. And then you have residual income. And residual income is creating something once and continually getting paid off of it. I like to call these our creatives. These are the people that see something that wasn't created before, and then they go out and create it, and people love it so much they consume it over and over and over again. So an author or a musician or an actor, or in today's world, an app developer. So, an app developer goes out and says, hey, I see a need in the market for this app, and I have the skills to do it. So I'm going to take 6 months. I'm going to build out the app. And then once it's done, I never have to touch it again unless I'm just updating it. And people are going to purchase it over and over and over and over again. An author might take them 2 months, 2 years. They create something. They put their heart, blood, sweat, and tears into something that they created. But once it's done, every single time it's purchased, make sure you're muted, guys. Every single time it's purchased, they're getting paid over and over and over again. So again, kind of a high barrier to entry, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a musician or an actor or an app developer or an author, and I don't really have the creative talent to do any of those things. So what if there was an industry that allows the everyday person the ability to participate not only in just linear income, but leveraged in residual income? I'm telling you today that there is one. And I want to ask you, could you start to get excited knowing that there's a different way to earn an income? What would your life look like if you were earning a leveraged and a residual income? Meaning that you built something once and you got paid for it over and over and over again. Just randomly on Monday, paychecks were showing up in your bank account, and you were able to leverage your time and your money for it to make more time and money for you. What would that look like for you? For me, it's looked like the ability to travel the world at 24 years old. It's looked like the ability to have my baby brother graduating from high school, and I get to plan a surprise trip out to see him for a week in California, and I'm not asking for any time off. It's looking like the ability to create community. I just moved to Philadelphia, and I have the time to network and meet people and create community and pour into the relationships that I have in this life. It's the ability to hang out with my boyfriend and his 2 kids on a Tuesday because I wanted to. Because today, guys, I spent from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. playing with them all day long. And then I got to come home, prep, shower, and jump on this call with you guys. It's the ability to really purchase my dream apartment in this unbelievably dream building and furnish it, and actually get to spend time in my apartment because I'm not spending all my time in transportation to a job, at a job, and then in transportation back. And then when I finally have any free time, trying to spend it with the people that I love. So what could you get excited about? If income was earned not linearly, if it wasn't attached to your time, what could you start to get excited about? So, all right, we went over why we do this. So you're starting to get a vision. You're starting to get a little excited, but how do we do it? The how is network marketing. We are charged with the responsibility for building a network of people who consume recurring product while leveraging teamwork and the power of exponential growth. I'm going to say it one more time because it's kind of wordy and it can be confusing, but I'm going to break it down as simply as I can for you guys. We are charged with the responsibility of building a network marketing, of people who consume a reoccurring product while leveraging teamwork and the power of exponential growth. So what are reoccurring purchases? Guys, you have cleaning supplies, food, transportation, makeup, skincare, electricity, cable, phone bill, internet, nails, eyelashes, daycare. I literally just pulled up what my reoccurring purchases were along with my boyfriend's, and I was just listing them and thinking like, okay, what do I pay for every single month or every other month? Because this is the life we live. Most people have reoccurring purchases. And as you're looking at this list, there might be some multi-level marketing or network marketing companies that pop into your mind that sell some of these products, right? So it's our job to build a network of people who order reoccurring purchases. Why? Because if they're ordering a purchase over and over again, then it creates a reoccurring income for the person selling it. How? Let's take an example. Transportation. Uber is one of my favorite examples of this. And the reason for that is because everyone was around when Uber came out. So Uber was a company within an industry. It used to be that cabs had the monopoly on transportation, or maybe you were taking a limo, but mostly it was a cab. And then one day, a new company came out called Uber. And they had innovated and they had come up with a product that people wanted to use. And do you guys remember how this product became a phenomenon within our culture? It was through word of mouth. And the way that they did it is they incentivized you with linear referral cash, meaning that you got a $10 credit for every person you shared who downloaded the app and then ordered their first ride. So every single person, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when Uber first came out, people were like frantically like, I'm going to share it with my friend first because I know everyone's going to be using this because it's an incredible service. And I want the $10 credit. Now I want to talk to you about what that would look like in a linear and residual model cash. That would look like getting $10 credit for every person who shared and downloaded the app and ordered their first ride, and earning 10% on every ride they ever take from now on. Let that sink in. Imagine your 5 friends that you shared Uber with. How often do they order an Uber? I know I spend a lot of money on Uber a month. What if you were making 10% off of that? Because the company wanted to reward you and say, we would never have this customer if it wasn't for you opening your mouth. And so next time they have a $7, let's make this easier on myself. Next time they have a $10 Uber, you get $1. Next time they do a $20 Uber into Boston or San Diego or wherever you live and they're going into the city, you get $2. And you didn't have to do anything. You already shared the app with them. You're not really doing anything additional, but you're getting this reoccurring income because it's a reoccurring expense for them in their life. So what about teamwork? So the second part that I said was we leverage teamwork. I like this graph mostly because I'm not really good at making PowerPoint, so I didn't really know how to make them on my own. But understanding that we can only work a certain amount of hours a day. And most of you, if not all of you, have full-time jobs. So let's say you have 4 extra hours to work that you could pick up a side hustle. Well, 4 extra hours isn't a lot of hours to earn an income off of. You can't get a lot done. You can't be super productive in those 4 extra hours. But what if you got paid based off of a team's production instead of just your production? And no, that does not mean I get paid off of the people that I bring in, but genuinely that we all get paid together. Meaning, if me and 3 other people decide to link arms and become a team, and we share this together, that we all share the commissions off of what we can create together. Well, okay, so now it's me and Sally and Jane and Peggy and Sue. And we each have 4 hours because we're busy. One of us is a mom, the other one is a Pilates instructor on the side. One of us is getting married. But we can squeeze in 4 extra hours. Well, now we have 20 hours a week. So what does this look like in the example? So before we had a linear and residual model cash, where we got $10 credit for every person you shared who downloaded the app and ordered for the first ride, linear. Got residuals, you got 10% for every ride that they took from then on. But now what does it look like when we get leveraged? What if you got 10% for every ride from someone they shared with from now on? So you share with Peggy, and Peggy goes out and shares with 5 people because we all have 5 friends that need to use Uber. And now, these 5 people, plus your friend, they probably spend about $10 a month in Uber, which would be exceptionally low. Let's just call a spade. But there's doing $10 in Uber for easy math. So now there's $60 that you're earning 10% on. So now instead of earning the $1 in residuals, you're earning $6 in residuals because we leveraged ourselves. We were able to understand the model that we could leverage our time and work together. It's the concept that I would rather earn 1% of what my whole team could do than 100% than what I could do alone, right? And then exponential growth. So exponential growth is understanding the network effect. That 5 times 5 turns into 25. So I have 5 friends. And those 5 friends, they also have 5 friends because let's be honest, we don't live under a rock. So now I have 25 people that are using the app Uber who are all exceptionally happy because this app is incredible and it does its job. So now I'm earning a residual off of 25 people. Well, now those 25 people inevitably, because they love the product and they love the service, share it with another 5 people. Well, that doesn't just add 5 extra people. It's 25 times 5. So now we have this exponential growth model. That's 125 people that are now consuming these products, which is Uber in this case. Well, then each of those 125, they obviously have 5 friends. Guys, this is literally how Uber took off. This is literally how Facebook took off. This is literally how network marketing and multi-level marketing is the largest industry when it comes to consumerism out there. Why it's bigger than the NFL, NBA, and the music industry combined, and the movie industry. Why it does billions and billions and billions in sales. Why the most cost-effective and effective way, period, to get a product to market is through word of mouth, is because of exponential growth. Because 125 people now share with 5 friends, which we're probably mostly women on this call, guys. You probably told 5 friends about something this week. That turns into 625. And then that turns into 3,125. This is the exponential growth model. Now you multiply that by each of them spending $10 a month on a reoccurring purchase times 10. And I did this as really easy math because I really didn't want to do the math out because I'm not a math expert. But it equals out to $5, $25, $125, $625, $3,125 a month. Can you imagine if every month you were earning an additional $3,125 a month just because you opened your mouth and you shared a reoccurring product and you said, hey, to your friends, I think if we work together and we all share this reoccurring product with people, that we could make some serious extra cash. And we could do it in a way that could free us from the golden chains of chasing after financial success and instead of chasing after financial freedom. So that me, you, and our 2 best friends can rent a yacht and go party on it on Tuesday, or we can spend some valuable time with our family on Thursday, or we can be with our grandmother in the hospital on Friday, or we can throw a party on Monday afternoon because we want to, or because our brother needs us and we could fly out to California to be with him for a couple of days because he's nervous on his first couple of days of school. Or we can be more present with our children and raise them the way that we want to instead of having them to be raised in a classroom if that's not what we want. I want you to really hear this, and I want it to sink in. What I'm offering you here is not something that can replace your job if you don't want it to. What I'm offering you here is not this cult that you can get involved in. What I'm offering you here is logic. I'm offering you a solution to financial pain that so many people have, and not in the way of, hey, you have some financial pain, so why don't you become the Uber driver? And you jump in the Uber and you earn some extra income in still a linear way, and you stay the worker in this world. And you stay in the 5% of wealth, of this population. Guys, I'm telling you, because it's so on my soul to educate you guys, that there's a better way to earn an income, and it doesn't have to be the end all be all, but it can be the way that transforms your family's lives, that changes your family's blueprint, like it has for my family, like it has for me, like it has for thousands on my team. And you can do it in a way with integrity, where you get to rise others up instead of pushing them down to get to the top, where you get to help your friends and your family achieve goals with you, where you get to take your children along for the ride with you. So guys, with all that being said, I want to talk about the what. I shared with you why. I told you how. So what are we? What is this? It's Isagenix. Isagenix is a network marketing company, and in my opinion, the best in the world. And I say this not because I'm in the company. I say this because between my parents and myself, we have 40 years experience. Because I grew up in a household that had been in other multi-level marketing companies. And I saw the heartbreak from the wrong companies. Because at 18 years old, I decided to take an independent study on this industry and line up every compensation plan and discover what was good and what was bad. Because going into college, before I was ever introduced to Isagenix, I said, I will graduate in a network marketing company. And I had the options, not because I was just presented on one of these calls or at a meeting, Isagenix, but because I went out and I searched for the right company. I can say that this is the best home you can be in. And it's because we have corporate staff that leads us well. It's because we have products that are the Uber of nutrition and food. It is a better product than anything out there on the market. But most importantly, because our financial need in this world is so freaking high, it's because we have the best compensation plan that any company has, bar none, non-comparable. I mean, it blows them out of the water. And if I could have another hour with you, I would tell you why. I would tell you all the reasons why Isagenix is the best company in the world. But replace the Uber and add in food, nutritional products that can truly change your bodies, that can change your lives. And ask yourself, do you know people that eat and could probably have a better breakfast every day? Do you know people who are stressed and could probably use some help in that area? Do you know people who buy energy drinks and could probably use a healthier version? Do you know people who are health nuts and are already buying probiotics and could probably use a better version? Do you know people who buy green juices? Do you know people who do cleanses? Do you know people who are athletes? Do you know people who need weight loss in their life? Do you know people with autoimmune diseases who are suffering from massive inflammation in their lives? We all do, because every person we know in our life eats more than every single person in our life takes Uber. Every single person in our life eats, and the food that we are eating today in this world is making us sick. It's proven. If I had another hour, I'd go on that too, but I don't. And so what I want to end with here tonight is, like I said at the beginning of this call, you're going to end here being excited and terrified for two reasons. One, because what if it's true and you have to change everything you knew and go down a different path? And two, the doubt in your mind of not wanting to believe in this being true, because that brings up too much fear to actually get excited about a future like this. Don't allow number two to come in. I hope you brought somebody onto this call, and if you didn't, there is going to be a recording of it so that you can show it to them, because you're going to try and talk to your spouse or your best friend or your partner and say, I think I found a solution, and they're going to say, sounds too good to be true, because they're not educated like you are now. You're empowered now. You have the knowledge. So instead, share with them this call. Get them in touch with the person that got you on this line, and send that person a text message and say, thank you so much for caring enough about me to empower me with this knowledge. Whether you join us or not, you're better off knowing this. I thank you guys so much for being on the call with us tonight. I hope you have a fabulous evening and an amazing week.